I'm Yasmin Benoit, I'm asexual, and I'm a lingerie model. And people tend to think that those two things don't go together. And they're kind of right, but they're also kind of wrong. And this is what I'm talking about. You know what line I used to hear all the time back when lingerie modeling was my main thing? Look at the camera like it's your boyfriend. And I guess that was pretty much a photographer's way, usually a male photographer's way of telling me to flirt with the camera, to create the illusion that this is some kind of intimate setting between me and the viewer. The photographer wanted to be able to look at the pictures and feel like this was some kind of personal scenario, and that's what the predominantly male audience wanted to see when they looked at lingerie shots. And every time they said that, which was quite a lot, I was always thinking, I don't have boyfriends. I don't have any intention of having boyfriends, and I don't know how I would look at a boyfriend. But of course I couldn't say that in a photo shoot, so I would just pretend. And I felt like I was pretending quite a lot back then, because while I was very much openly asexual in my personal life, I wasn't really openly asexual in the public sphere of my work. And I know you're probably thinking, well, you're a model, you're supposed to pretend, that's kind of the thing, and it's true. I mean, that's one way that modeling and acting are quite similar, only modeling involves significantly less acting skills, if we're being honest. But you know, you're supposed to pretend, to sell a product, to sell an idea, and the idea that I was supposed to be selling was that I was sexually available and interested in whoever was looking at these pictures. And anyway, asexual, that's kind of like, it's like being a vegan and modeling for Burger King a lot. And I don't just mean like modeling for them, I mean like, oh my god, this beef burger is amazing, oh my god, put this beef burger in my mouth, I love beef burgers, oh my god, like that, in that way, because that's kind of what they were looking for from me. And this was back when I first started modeling. I was told quite early on, something I also realized myself, was that because of my body shape, I wasn't going to be booking like high fashion stuff. I kind of curvy. Lingerie was the area that made sense, and I like lingerie, so I was like, okay, I guess that's my thing. That's the only way I'm going to get work, is if I do this genre. But it seemed that no matter what I did, it was never quite good enough. Because while the photographers I worked with, they didn't really complain, but when I would speak to other photographers and I'd be like, hey guys, like, what do you think of my work? Like, you know, in terms of booking more jobs, what do you think I could improve on? And the feedback I often got was, it's not provocative enough. It's not suggestive enough. You need to make it sexier. Don't just be like, hey, this is me. I'm in lingerie. This is great. I need to look like I'm like on the brink of orgasm, right? That's what they wanted from me. They wanted it to be like, oh my god, it's a boudoir shoot. Oh my god, I'm so aroused by everything. I'm looking at you, viewer. You're so hot, I want you. Like, they wanted me to pose like I was like desperate to get laid, you know? And I was like, oh, this is so not my thing. But I was like, whatever, if I'm gonna do this, like, whatever options do I have? Like, modeling's what I want to do, but this is, it did feel disingenuous, considering that like what I like to put out there on my public platform is a message of being yourself, even if you don't fit social norms. Like, even if you're kind of weird and everyone thinks you're weird, just like do you, because there's only one you and you are great no matter what. Like, that's kind of like the message I want to put out there. And I felt like I wasn't really practicing what I preached, because while I was saying that, when it came down to the work, I was doing whatever people told me to do, and I was portraying myself because I hadn't announced that I was out. I mean, I was pretty much creating the illusion that I was some kind of sexually willing participant in this imagery, and I really wasn't. And it wasn't until like last year that I publicly, on my social media, to my Instagram followers and everyone, where I was like, by the way guys, you know I'm asexual, right? And I announced that with my video, Things Asexual Girls Don't Want to Hear, which actually still gets a lot of views, and people are still like really interacting with that video. So thank you guys very much for being so nice about that. And I did receive like a lot of positive support. People were, sorry, there's something in my eye. Okay. Yeah, I received a lot of like positive support. People were, on the most part, really nice. Some people were kind of not so nice, but, and from either side, you know, there was a lot of questions about, if you're asexual, why would you do lingerie modeling? Like, that doesn't really make sense. And I feel like the reason why that idea is very hard for people to compute is because, you know, in our society, we do live in a patriarchal society. It's very much a male-dominated society. Our entire culture has been shaped by men because they've been in the positions where they've been able to do that. And I'm going to bring in a little bit of feminist theory here. We're going to back this up to I believe her name's Laura Murphy, but I may be incorrect. You know what, hold on, let me double check this real quick. Hold up. All right, found it. Okay, so the male gaze is the act of depicting women and the world in the visual arts and literature from a masculine heterosexual perspective that presents and represents women as sexual objects for the pleasure of the male viewer. The male gaze has three perspectives, that of the person behind the camera, and that of the characters within the representation, and that of the spectator. So in terms of modeling, and not even just in modeling, I mean, that theory helps to explain why whenever women do anything concerning their appearance, the assumption is that you're doing it because you want male attention. You put on makeup, it's like, oh, who's that for? You wear any kind of outfit that you like, and it's like, oh, who's that for? And if you wear something that people don't like, it's still like, wow, you know, people aren't going to like it that you look like that, because it's expected that everything we do is to appeal to men or to attract men, and therefore people see these kind of shoots and they're like, if you're not trying to attract men, then why are you doing it? And if you're going to apply that to my early days, like, I can get that, because at the time even I was like, you know what, this isn't really authentic. This isn't really working out. And after I came out, I kind of had to step back and kind of reevaluate how I was going to do this whole modeling thing and how I was going to approach the lingerie genre from an asexual model's perspective. And when I did that, I pretty much restricted the kind of shoots that I would do and how I would do them. And that has, in some aspects, been a huge disadvantage, modeling wise, because, I mean, even at the time, everyone likes to remind me, there's girls who will do more than you, they will wear less than you, you need to up your game, and I didn't want to up my game. And I have had to turn down jobs that I've really wanted just because it didn't fit with my personal ethos. Like, there was a brand that I have been trying to book a shoot with for years. They have been like on my to-do list for so long. I've been a fan of them since I was a teenager, and I finally had the opportunity to shoot for them, but it was such a sexualized theme. It was like a fetish theme, and I was like, if I do this, like, what kind of, like, that doesn't really fit with my message. It doesn't really represent who I am. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. And I've never had the opportunity to model for them again. And that's such a bummer. And there have been other times where I was speaking to photographers and we were talking about shoots that weren't even necessarily lingerie shoots. Like, there was one time there was a photographer, really wanted to work with him. He had very vibrant images, and we were talking about fashion, but he kind of insisted on going for like a semi-fashiony, voyeuristic, like upskirt vibe. And I was like, maybe we could skip out on the upskirt part. And he was like, you're stifling my creative vision. I can't possibly work with you. There's no plan B. I can't go around it. No. And thus, that didn't happen either. And there have been a lot of things that I have had to miss out on because of this. But I mean, it isn't all doom and gloom, because I have done plenty of lingerie shoots since then. I did a shoot for Gorilla Geish's Christmas campaign. I've done quite a few latex shoots. I modeled for Brick Boutique. Like, I've done other things, and it doesn't, and when I have control over what I'm doing, where I'm doing it because I like the brands, I love the lingerie, I'm working with photographers who I really like, that I'm not doing it because a male photographer told me I have to do it, or because I feel like I have to do it, or because I'm trying to sexually entice somebody. I'm just doing it because I like what I'm wearing. Like, I don't just model lingerie. Most of my stuff is actually streetwear, but people tend to just focus on the lingerie because, you know. But yeah, so I feel like I can't, the logic of shying away from something because someone else might sexualize me because of it would mean I wouldn't be able to do anything, let's be honest. I mean, people can sexualize anything. I mean, I wouldn't be able to wear makeup because people would assume I'm doing that for somebody else. I wouldn't be able to wear this on a hot day because, you know, it shows my stomach, or someone might find that hot. Like, I don't know. Like, I felt I would be very much restricting myself if I prevented myself from wearing certain clothes because someone might think it's sexy or because someone might possibly sexualize it. I'm not really about that life, so that's why I do continue to do shoots that others might think is kind of provocative by some standards. Some might think it's kind of racy, but at the same time, I actually think that it's quite beneficial because I guess that there's like this weird idea of asexual people being kind of, I don't know, I guess people think that we're like nuns or something, that we're just covered from head to toe and we're like prude, and whenever someone mentions sex, we're like, no, not that. Think of the children. It's weird because like I don't have a problem with sexuality. I don't have a problem with things that might be seen as sexual. I don't mind. So I feel like it adds to the representation of asexual people because it kind of breaks down the stereotypes that people have about us, that we're supposed to, I don't know, that we're just like these, because that we don't have sexual attractions, that we just, I don't know, I guess people think that we just coil into ourselves or something. we just implode at the mention of sex, or it's strange. And I feel like, yeah, sorry, my whole sentence just got really messed up. Give me a second. My point is, I feel like there isn't a lot of asexual representation in the media, and I feel like being openly asexual in my modeling and being able to really be myself and dress in different ways and present myself in different ways and express different things, it helps because it's something, and it's something different from, I know, the characters on TV any character on TV who has like no sexual interests and doesn't have a love interest, it's usually because there's something wrong with them. They're always like, I don't know, it's like they're evil, they're like Voldemort or something, and they're unlovable, or they're just like these weird sexless beings who you wouldn't even compute in a sexual way or in a romantic way. They're just unlikable, and that's why they're the asexual character, or they're so childlike that they couldn't possibly be associated with anything sexual. So yeah, I feel like it's important to show something different and something real, and that's why I think that being asexual and a lingerie model totally makes sense, and it's something I'm going to continue to do for as long as I want to do it. This video was actually inspired by an article that I just wrote for my favorite Victoria's Secret models website called Lap the Brand. I want to thank Lap the Brand for giving me the opportunity to tell my story, and I will include a link to that article in the description of this video. And it's also worth mentioning that I'm going to be at the London Asexuality Convention in July, so you guys should totally look out for that. And if you want to come say hi, definitely do that, because I love meeting more asexual people, and I love being able to use my platform to raise awareness for asexuality and show people what an asexual person is really like. And thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you have gained something positive out of it. And if you want to see more of me, you know that you can follow me on Instagram at @TheYasminBenoit. You can check back here for more videos, and I will include more social media links in the description. Thanks for watching!